Next up, I'm going to be talking about one of the biggest issues facing young people in Britain.
This morning, in less than 24 hours, 6 more people have been stabbed.
Well, last night there was another attack.
More than a third of all recorded knife crime in England and Wales happens in the capital.
16-year-old party. Yeah? That's what I confiscated.
Gangs have changed. Where once it was largely about territory and tribes, now it's about drugs and profits.
Tonight's guest has dedicated his life to tackling knife crime and has been awarded an OBE for his efforts. Please welcome Mark Prince. Nice to meet you.
Awesome, thank you. Well, I actually thought these are some papers that they actually put out. I didn't know it was a chair.
Yeah? Thank you very much for coming on the show, mate.
Thanks for having me on, man.
Yeah.
I really appreciate it.
So how did you get involved in trying to end knife crime?
My son was going to a school in Edgware, and he came out of school and saw a little fracas with some young people outside, recognised that his friend was in it, went up, tried to peacefully break it up, stop him. I've heard that it was a bit of a play fight, it wasn't even too serious. My son was breaking it up, and the guy pulled out a knife. My son stepped back, said, you know, what are you doing with that? Put that away. I'm not sure if the guy felt that he didn't have the fear factor that he wanted my son to have, and he went for my boy and stabbed him in the heart, killed him outside his school.
And how do you, as a dad, how do you rebuild yourself after something that horrific happens?
1 minute at a time, 1 hour at a time, 1 day at a time. There was times in my life where I didn't know if I could laugh again. I didn't know if I would see me again. I didn't know if I would be able to see this personality that I had before. It was like I died on that day. So it took 1 day at a time to rebuild myself. 1 day, just trying to think right, trying to focus on getting rid of all this pain that filled my veins, the anger that filled my veins.
How did you manage to take that incredible pain and turn it into something so positive like you're doing today?
As you can imagine, the process of trying to deal with all these emotions, and thought, how can I give back? I'd worked with social services, different councils, and I felt that I really cared about young people and getting good results. So I started the Kiyan Prince Foundation.
So it's named after your son?
Yeah.
And your son was a promising footballer?
Yeah, he was awesome, absolutely awesome. It was wonderful listening to the heads, coaches, talking about his promising future, that he could be playing for England under 21s. Just listen to them calling us into a meeting, telling us even at 15 they're going to put him into the first team with the grown men. So he had great potential, great potential. If you see a picture of him, he's amazing.
I think we've actually got a photo here that we can show.
Yeah.
And he's there playing for QPR.
Yeah, you can see the kindness and just loveliness in his face, man.
What do you think are the major reasons why kids are drawn into this?
There's so many. But my thing is this, what I've recognised from young people, they lack self-belief. It's like society's just given this thought that things come quickly and they want money quickly. They don't understand that you have to work for it and there's a process of learning, and that's what helps you to develop character. So it's almost like everything they see is quick. You know, X Factor, you just go on a show, boom, you're a star overnight. You know, they don't understand about the process of life and developing this personality that will, in fact, reap the rewards in the end. And look at the high exclusion rates in schools. You know, it's crazy. And when I'm working in schools, and I look at the school system and I think, well, if you're not building relationships with children and you're just tick boxing to get grades for Ofsted, then how do you expect these kids to develop?
Yeah.
They give me groups of like, oh, here are the worst kids, we might exclude them. So these kids ain't the worst kids to me. These kids are wonderful to me. They brought in a guy and said, oh, you know, I don't know if he's going to be able to sit still in your class because he just can't sit still. The guy hasn't moved in my class. Do you know what I'm saying? I engage with him, I speak with him, and I let them speak and open up. So we talk about what's going on at home. We talk about how they're dealing with school. We talk about their belief systems and why they act like they act.
Yeah.
So we're really tackling real issues about life.
And how do you think the government are handling this?
Not very well. If you look at how things are structured and what they can do, sometimes it almost seems set up to fail.
Right.
Kids almost seem set up to fail. So, you know, there's so many different areas that I think government could address. Educational system needs to address things. Police, look, why would you cut police?
Yeah.
When at this point you need more police? Like, that doesn't make sense. You already know the consequences if you cut the police force and cut the money for the police.
Yeah.
And mate, look, I've been on the news. They're talking about what's the solution. When Boris was trying to get in charge, he calls me up. Oh, okay, it's Boris, is it? What's going on here? All right, Boris, what's happening? Boris is admitting, well, you know, we don't have the solution to this. So I said, all right, Boris, well, I have the solution. So why don't we work together? This is what I said to him, you get all the praise, I'll do all the work. Okay. We'll get back to you. You know, we'll see how the election goes. I don't hear from him again because he gets in power.
Wow.
I don't hear from these guys. I've been in Sadiq's office. We don't, you know, here's an opportunity to create a relationship.
Yeah.
You've seen the project. We've brought people on board that have done the budget. You know, we've got psychologists on board that will do evaluation to prove here's how our programs work. This is what's going down. And you're saying, okay, wonderful. You know, I like this project.
Yeah.
Okay, so where's the money then, Boris? We want to do this. It's really cheap. It costs $250,000 to save you how many millions? How much does it cost for a murder trial? A straight mill. What we're saying is we're saving how many lives with $250,000,
Yeah.
so you don't have to go through all of these issues in the end, spending all this money. It's saving taxpayers' money. Great. What happens after? Nothing. Where's the P to do the work?
Fuck, man, that's
So I'm
interesting.
done with begging anyone for anything.
So how do you get the money?
Well, we're saying to the public, look, we're not asking for much. We all want this problem solved.
Yeah.
It's our issue. It's affecting our children. So let's all put together and let's do something. If you can't do something, give. If you can't give, join in.
Yeah.
Whatever it is you can do, take this serious, because I'm doing this because I don't want more parents feeling like how I feel. I'm doing this because I've gone to enough children's funerals. I've gone to enough, and it hurts. I've been in groups doing project work, talking to these young people. Then I go the next week, a seat's missing. And I'm asking someone, where's my man? Everyone's head goes down. He's gone. We ain't going to have him in the group again.
Wow. And do you think you're able to help young children because you had a tough childhood yourself?
Oh, it is, without a shadow of a doubt. I've come from it.
Yeah.
You know, I was one of those young people with that mindset, like, you know, this is the only way I can make it, and this is what the streets teach you. This is the only way you can make it. Haven't done well in school, you know, and being homeless, having that tough upbringing. I just thought, there's no chance. How am I going to make it? No one ever inspired me to say, it doesn't matter about your past. You could create your future, and you just need to believe. And no one ever taught me these things, so I just followed what everybody else is doing. And, you know, people were selling drugs and had visions of making it the quick way and the short way, and I followed that. But the moment I decided, like, hold on a minute, where's this leading me? Where's it taking me? Then I began to realize, no, let me choose something else. Let me do something else. So I think I learned a lot, and it placed me in a unique position to be able to understand these young people's mindset. And I think that's one of the reasons why I've been so successful with the work that I've been doing, because young people see their self in me. You know, and I always tell them that I am you and you are me. You can overcome any adversity, you can achieve anything, and it's not about where you are now, it's where you're going.
Have you forgiven your son's killer? Do you get to that place, or?
I had to.
Have you?
I had to free myself, because I have to do work now where I meet other guys just like him. How do I work with them? How do I help them? How do I heal their hurts if I'm carrying my own baggage of hurt? Forgiveness is needed for healing for me personally to be able to go out there and work with these same kind of young people with this mindset.
And you've been awarded an OBE, which is fantastic. How does that make you feel? It must be kind of bittersweet, I guess.
You know, I get asked that question a lot, and I respect the fact that the Queen has recognised that. Look at the work he's doing. We want to give him an OBE. Beautiful. But what am I going to do? It doesn't still change me from going to the cemetery to put flowers down and cry and stuff like that and talk to a grave that's just full of dirt. I have to focus on what my work is. So, you know, the OBE badge is not going to do anything for me per se. I can utilise it to galvanise all the attention that it gets, to get people's attention on what I'm trying to achieve. And that's purposeful, and that's my drive.
But hopefully that is the thing that comes out of it, that it gets a foot in the door.
Yeah.
You know, that you're able to speak to, hopefully, businesses to kind of raise
Definitely,
money.
corporates get involved. You know, we got our budget, we know what we want to achieve.
What you should do to the Queen, just say that you need to raise this money, sell some of your art, sell that golden piano, right? Sell the golden piano.
I was going to put that to her, you know, Russell.
How can she say no?
I was going to whisper in her ear.
Imagine that. Why not? I think that'd be an idea. Now, you obviously know this, but the fact that QPR, now their Goal of the Season award is named after your son.
Yeah.
There's something so magical about that.
Yeah.
The excellence, a goal so beautiful that it makes 25,000 people scream.
Beautiful.
The memory is interlinked with your son.
Absolutely, and something beautiful about a club who would treasure their young player like that. Remember, he didn't attain that Premiership stardom in the direction he was going. He actually was on that journey, but QPR recognised the beauty of his character and his potential and said, let's honour this guy. Now, we have to acknowledge QPR for that wonderful club.
And are you still able, do you go to games?
Yes, I go to QPR games.
Is that painful?
No, it's not. And even when I watch Premiership football, I used to watch Man City's Michael Richards, and for some reason his figure, he had some similarities to my son. So I used to kind of enjoy sort of dreaming and watching him play.
Yeah.
And it was almost like just seeing, that's how my son would have looked. So it's quite the opposite, because some people say, oh, can I mention about your son? Can I? And they, you know, they're tippy-toeing around me, and, you know, and I said, it's all right.
Amazing. Honestly, I've interviewed many people, and you're one of the most incredible people we've had on the show.
Thanks, Russ.
I really, really appreciate that. Thank
Beautiful,
you so much.
man.
Ladies and gentlemen, the wonderful Mark Prince.